This is Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing. You're watching Sporting Icons. You don't need to be anywhere else.
So there's an article here, and it'll be put in the description box as always for you guys, where it's got Sky Sports and they've got statements from Frank Warren and Bob Arum. Frank Warren, of course, is the UK promoter for Tyson Fury. Bob Arum is the US and abroad promoter for Tyson Fury. And they're both pretty much singing from the same hymn sheet, where they're both saying that this is an easy fight to make for Joshua and Fury. It's a very, very easy fight to make, providing the starting point is that both sides agree it's a 50-50 split. Now, do you and me care if it's 50-50 or 60-40 in one fight? No, because at the end of the day, we ain't making a penny out of it. All we're getting is a mega fight, aren't we? So the split's not really our concern, but we understand these are the kind of things that will stop a fight from happening. So going by what we've heard so far, it does appear that Team AJ, as in Eddie Hearn, that are also saying, sure, 50-50 split, we don't have a problem with that one. As much as we don't really agree with it, that's what we're going to concede. Frank Warren and that saying the same thing. 50-50 split, no problem, even though we believe it should be 60-40 in Tyson Fury's favour. So both sides believe that both men are the A side in this one, but let's just go right down the middle, 50-50. Now, they're not necessarily talking about the purses here with 50-50. Of course, that's probably the biggest one, but they're also talking about 50-50 in every department. So whatever that event makes, 50-50. Sky Sports, BT Sport for here in the UK, 50-50. It doesn't matter whether or not there's more Sky Sports subscribers than there are BT Sport subscribers. So if, say for example, 80% of people clicking the Sky Sports button and only 20% clicking the BT Sport button, makes no difference. Makes no difference. It's about all the money will go into the same pot and then be split 50-50 across all sides. I think that's pretty much what it is that he's talking about. Now, they're also saying that it's a very, very easy fight to make, providing they all sat around the table together. And we're talking Bob Arum, MTK Global, Eddie Hearn, Frank Warren, Freddie Cunningham, who's the manager of Anthony Joshua. Maybe Joshua and Fury could be there, don't know. But providing people sat around the table, they could get it done in one day. Which, to be honest with you, if both sides agree to 50-50 everything, yeah, it can be. But of course, there are going to be some stumbling blocks. Who's going to be the main promoter? There's these little technicalities that we don't really care about, but these are the kind of things that will hold up things getting done. Who's the main promoter? Who's going to be the one to, when they have the press conference, start off the speech? How many people are they going to have on the table? Are they going to have Sky Sports at like Adam Smith, BT Sport like John Rawling? Who's going to be the main broadcaster? Who's going to be the one to speak? Is it going to be Eddie Hearn? Is it going to be Frank Warren? Is it going to be Bob Arum? So all these guys, these companies have their own ego. That's going to be a bit of a problem. For me, I think ego is going to be the biggest problem. But it should be something that they can iron out pretty quickly. Location, of course, they're all going to have to agree on the location. Both sides have already said a rematch. Again, what is the split for the rematch? Now, again, these are the kind of things that could stop the fight from happening, which is they may well agree because the first one, they're both going in there, haven't fought each other before. It'll be a case of 50-50, everything's equal. The winner, what do they get for the rematch? Is it going to be a 60-40 split, for example, in the rematch? These are the kind of things that they're going to have to be coming out with. Now, one point that Frank Warren said was he doesn't believe that Matchroom really want the fight because they haven't received an offer from Matchroom. And I suppose my rebuttal to that one will be, well, where's your offer? Where's your offer to Matchroom? Why does it always have to be coming from AJ? If it's a 50-50 deal, then surely it doesn't matter which side makes the offer. Who makes the first approach? It shouldn't really matter, should it? So if Frank Warren's sitting there waiting for an offer, well, why are you waiting for an offer? If you want to get the ball rolling, as it appears he does, going by his statements, is that why are you waiting for Eddie Hearn and Matchroom to make the offer, to make the first move? You don't need to. If it's 50-50, you make the first move. You pick up the phone. You call Eddie Hearn or Barry Hearn or Freddie Cunningham or whatever it may be. Why can't you do that? Now, they all concede that at the minute, because of Deontay Wilder activating the rematch clause, and it appears that he's unwilling to step aside. Again, there's no kind of talk of, are they even going to try and offer him money to step aside? There's no talk about that one. But they're kind of conceding that Fury will take on Wilder next and Joshua will take on Pulev next. Now, there is going to be a more sticky situation if, for example, Fury gets past Wilder, Joshua gets past Pulev. If Dillian Whyte gets past Alexander Povetkin, then I don't know what kind of things that Dillian Whyte can do. I don't know, because this is undisputed. So I don't know what it is that he can do. I know a lot of fans will say, oh, well, Dillian Whyte will have to wait. A lot of fans will say, well, if Dillian Whyte, if he wants to stop the fight, he can stop the fight and force his world title shot against Tyson Fury. Now, I don't really know what the situation is, to be honest with you, when it comes to that. But I would imagine that it'll be some step-aside money for Dillian Whyte. Some pretty decent step-aside money as well. But that's going to be a horrible situation for Eddie Hearn when that situation arises, which I'll do a video about that to follow this one. But a 50-50 split, sit around the table, get it done. Now, I know Eddie Hearn, he said that we have no problem signing a deal right now. That's overlooking your opponent. That's overlooking Joshua Pulev. That's overlooking Fury Wilder. While you would favour both fighters, you wouldn't put your house on it. It's heavyweight boxing. Anything can happen. It's not that either guy is unstoppable. Both guys have been decked. Both guys have been in trouble before. Pulev has an impressive run of victories, only ever lost one fight. Deontay Wilder, again, only ever lost one fight. So you can't overlook them to that point. So signing a deal, that could be like signing your own death warrant. In some ways, right? So there's quite a few things to look at. There's some complications, that's for sure. But I think the biggest one will be ESPN and DAZN. I think that's going to be the difficult one, because ESPN, they're going to want pay-per-view in the US. But with the US, would they buy it? Because it's two Brits. You know, people have nationality bias, and that's absolutely fine. But DAZN, they do a $100 for 1 year subscription service, or $20 for an entire month, whichever month that you want. ESPN, they can do pay-per-views. On ESPN Plus, I heard that they do, was it $5 or $10 a month or something like that? So again, which kind of route are they going to go down? Which would be kind of unfortunate for us here in the UK, because we don't care about what kind of revenue it's going to make at all, really. But certainly in America, in a country where they love their boxing, but there's not an American involved. If that makes sense. So why would that situation between DAZN and ESPN hold up this fight? There's all these kind of things to look at. But of course, Anthony Joshua, he's not exclusive to DAZN. It's a fight-by-fight basis, as far as I'm aware, where DAZN have first refusal or last refusal or something like that on his fights. But Joshua, he has a contract here in the UK where he must fight on Sky Sports. That's his contract. And Tyson Fury has a contract where his fights must be shown on BT Sport. I believe I'm right about that with Tyson Fury, but for Anthony Joshua, I know I'm definitely right about that one. So, are Sky Sports willing to do a 50-50? I'm pretty sure BT Sport are, but Sky Sports, obviously they're the bigger sports platform, especially for boxing and that. So, I mean, hopefully none of this is going to be a problem. I mean, I haven't heard anything from Adam Smith that would suggest that he has a problem going 50-50 with BT Sport. If anything, Sky Sports, they do talk about BT Sport in positive ways. BT Sport don't really talk about Sky Sports. But anyway, what they're saying is everybody needs to sit around the table and they can get that deal done within a day, providing they start off with a 50-50 split. Drop your thoughts below. Click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you all in the next video.